We all know who General Grievous is, Supreme Marshal Commander of the Separatist droid armies, head of state and leader of the Confederacy of Independent Systems for a brief time, infamous Jedi killer, avid lightsaber collector.
Your lightsabers will make a fine addition to my collection.
He was a particularly painful thorn in the side of the Republic throughout the Clone Wars, leading legions of droids and attacking countless systems, and personally eradicating numerous Jedi along the way. His terrifying cybernetic enhancements had made him a powerful warrior, but transformed him beyond all recognition. But what do we know of Grievous before the war? Well, in today's video, we're going to dive into his history and find out how he ended up being one of the most violent and feared military commanders that the galaxy had ever seen. Grievous was originally called Kaiman J. Shalal, and he was an organic Kaleesh from the planet Kali. Unfortunately, he was born on the brink of a huge conflict with another species known as the Huk, so while growing up, Shalal had to quickly master the art of war. Fortunately, it came relatively naturally to him, and he was adept, with many different weapons, most notably a slug thrower rifle. Shalal became somewhat of a demigod to the Kaleesh people due to his notoriety for killing and ruthlessness in battle, and this gained him the attention of Ronderil Lil Kamar, a female of his species. The pair grew close, very close, and Shalal was, for a time, very happy with his life. Unfortunately, Kumar died during a Huk attack, a pivotal moment that changed Shalal's life forever. Wrecked with grief and filled with rage, he renounced his birth name and took on the name Grievous, vowing to take revenge on the Huk for what they did. And that's exactly what he did. He even donned a mask and armour that was very reminiscent of the cyborg being he would become. Mustering an army, Grievous drove the Huk off of Kali and back to their home world. But Grievous didn't stop there. He ordered his army to swarm their planet and wipe them out. The Huk, now on the defensive, looked to the Republic for help. Several Jedi were sent to deal with the situation, and the Kaleesh were forced back to the war-torn, scarred and poverty-stricken Kali, where many eventually died. In need of food, money and resources, Grievous took a job as an enforcer for the Intergalactic Banking Clan. Due to his warrior past, he was very good at his job, and by all accounts thrived in the position. He did not like his job though, rather seeing it as a means to an end. You see, in return for Grievous's services, the Intergalactic Banking Clan offered to take on the planet Kali's massive debt. This would benefit Grievous's people greatly and help the world once again thrive and prosper. And so, despite his disgust at working as an enforcer, Grievous threw himself into the role. He earned a reputation as one of the strongest and most fearsome enforcers the galaxy had seen, and was even given control of the clan's own private droid army. This started to turn some heads, and it caught the attention of some very important people that would soon shape the future of Grievous's life. Not happy with the bumbling and relatively ineffective B-1 battle droids, Grievous petitioned for the creation of a more intelligent droid that would be far more effective against enemies of the clan. The clan greenlit a new design, the IG-100 Magna Guards, a powerful and resourceful type of droid that would become a personal bodyguard of Grievous for the remainder of his life. Despite tolerating his job, Grievous's life was once again shaken up when he heard news of the Huk attacking Kali again. Desperate to return home to help, Grievous left his post and made plans to return home. However, the chairman of the Intergalactic Banking Clan, San Hill, was not pleased and quickly formulated a plan. Consulting with several of his separatist allies, including Sith Lord Count Dooku, to end Grievous's infuriating dedication to his people and force him to serve them and them alone. So San Hill was instructed to plant a bomb on Grievous's ship. As he lifted off and headed towards space, the bomb was detonated and the ship destroyed, with Grievous barely surviving. But this was all part of the plan. Grievous's torn, bleeding, burnt and shocked body was plucked from the sea and transported to Geonosis, where a brand new cybernetic body was waiting for him. Much of Grievous's body was ruined, with only several vital organs, his brain and parts of his face remaining usable. Medical droids carefully transferred the usable bits into their cybernetic housing and spent many hours ensuring the organic parts were able to link up to the mechanical parts. Blood from the frozen body of Jedi Master Sifo Dyas was transferred into the old organs that were held in Synth's skin gut sac. It truly was a horrific and macabre amalgamation of man and machine. But the work was done, and Grievous was transformed into the cybernetic monster that terrorized the galaxy during the Clone Wars. Unfortunately, one thing didn't go to plan. The intention was for Grievous to be force sensitive. That's why they used the blood of the frozen Jedi Master. They hoped that the midi-chlorians within the blood would give the new host powers. However, they failed to do so. Disgusted by his new body and insulted by his new role as Supreme Commander of the droid armies, Grievous was incensed when he was referred to as a droid himself. He went to great lengths to set himself apart, wearing masks and cloaks that linked him back to his Kaleesh heritage. While this was seen as a vain choice by Count Dooku, the pair learned to work effectively together, and they eventually grew to respect each other. In fact, under the guidance of Count Dooku, Grievous learned how to battle with a lightsaber, a form of war he had never previously mastered. This made him especially dangerous when it came to dueling with Jedi. Despite being only a pawn in the grand picture, Grievous had his use and strengths, all of which were fully exploited by Dooku and his master Darth Sidious as the Clone Wars started to erupt across the galaxy. And that pretty much fills you in on the history of Grievous. For the rest of this story, be sure to check out the Clone Wars TV show, as well as Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. But don't worry, we know this video is running a little shorter than usual, so we're going to throw in some cool behind the scenes stuff too. General Grievous was originally created as a villain for Episode 3. Speaking about the character, director George Lucas said, "With General Grievous, I wanted somebody who was reminiscent of what Anakin is going to become, which is a half man, half robot. In this case, Grievous is sort of 20% alien and 80% robot." With this brief in mind, concept artists set off trying to create a design. However, George Lucas was never quite happy with them. Designs range from the weird and the wonderful, with one idea even becoming the Magna Guards that flank Grievous in the movie. The final design that we all know and love was only chosen several months before principal photography started. When it comes to Grievous's distinct voice, Lucas was originally going to cast Gary Oldman for the part. Around the early 2000s, Gary Oldman was probably most well known for his portrayal of Sirius Black in the Harry Potter franchise, specifically The Prisoner of Azkaban. Unfortunately, he had to turn down the role of General Grievous so as not to breach Screen Actors Guild union rules. This meant the vocal duties fell to Lucasfilm audio engineer Matthew Wood, who did an amazing job if you ask us. Still, it would have been great to hear Gary Oldman's take on Grievous. Grievous's very first on-screen appearance actually came in the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars cartoon that ran from 2003 to 2005. Here Grievous was portrayed as a much bigger, more physically imposing, more violent, and more capable of handling several Jedi at once. He was also depicted with completely white armour and a completely white cape, most likely based off of early concept art for the character. The voice was also different, this time being voiced by actor Richard McGonigal. Due to the many differences between the way Grievous was portrayed in this cartoon and the way he was portrayed in the subsequent movies and TV shows, the Clone Wars cartoon was soon labelled as non-canon and not part of the official Star Wars continuity. It's still a fun cartoon though, and totally worth watching if you can find it. So there you have it, the complete history of General Grievous, plus a few cheeky extras. What do you think of the character and his history? Also, if there are any other characters that you think we should explore the history of, let us know in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.